from this position, we've got two different bishops lined up, and we're looking to go on the attack, and instead we decide to take the knight. What that does is it's going to force white to castle to the other side of the board, and after a bunch of moves, back and forth, trading off some pieces, getting the pawn in the center, the question becomes, how do we attack the position from this spot right here? A first idea is to try to trap the queen, and we're going to do that by moving the rook over. The idea is we can get our bishop, this bishop in position. This bishop's in a terrible position right now. We want to get it over here. That's the idea. So we're going to go ahead and move it right there. If white takes in this spot, we've got discovery on the queen, so white's not going to do that. Instead, white decides to move its rook. Now we can move the bishop. Okay. Now white offers a trade. We're going to take it. Our knight was only for defensive purposes anyway. So the real question becomes, how exactly do we break apart this position? The idea I came up with was to get this rook over and then get this rook over to here, and hopefully there's no pawn push later on as white would move its bishop. So we start with this rook here. White sets up its bishop in motion. The idea is it has discovery on a rook for b7. We decide to go ahead and move this rook over first, and then we get lucky. White doesn't see it. It decides to move its rook for defensive purposes. This actually helps us, and the reason it helps us is it kind of takes away a little bit of space, or it will later on. We're going to go ahead and double up the rooks with the idea of not taking this right here, not taking this pawn, but using this as a rook lift. Okay. White decides to bring an extra defender. Okay, we're going to go ahead and push the other pawn. Okay, so what do we do in this spot right here after the queen moves? This is a huge opportunity for us. And the reason I say that is because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move the other rook, the queen, over, actually. I thought about moving the rook, but we want to keep an extra attacker here. The reason I moved the queen over is I got a little trap here. And this trap basically involves, after white pulls his bishop back to attack our rook, we can now freely take this pawn with the rook. And the reason for that is we have a discovered move. If white were to capture here, we've got this, and at some point that's going to win the queen. Okay? And the position as well. So instead of doing that variation there, what white decided to do in this spot is move its queen. Okay? But this gives us a huge opportunity as well. What we're going to do is we're going to take with the bishop. Put the king in check. Now the king's back in the corner. We've got a mate in 2. If we can get our queen in the right spot. We don't want to go here because we'll trade queens. We're going to go right here. White is not able to block this. And now we've got two different ways to win. The way he played the game was to sacrifice the rook. And remember, after this bishop leaves, we've got this rook blocking here, and that allows our queen in. But it also means that we have two different ways to finish mate, because this rook has a discovered block. We can also take our queen, sacrifice it, and if white takes, we could finish with the rook as well.